we'll put out some more links for others to join as they join. It's your boy Tips to Japan, back with another episode of the podcast with a name as of today. I'm here with my co-host. You can go ahead and introduce himself.
All right, I'm Ace, and this is not cross culture, but I'm happy to be here. Anybody wants to check out my channel, it's Cross X Culture, all one word. That's my shameless plug for the evening.
All right, and no. Let's take a moment there. What's your channel about? Remind some of our listeners, and maybe their first time. It's our second time putting this broadcast out, but it's our first time doing it on YouTube. So,
yes, it's actually the third time that we put in the broadcast out. Second time on different YouTube. Channels. Yeah, the first time was on Facebook. Second time was on my YouTube channel, and now the third is on yours.
Yes. Yeah. Getting around.
Yeah, we getting out there. But cross culture, basically, it is a kind of a play on words, especially when it comes to the Japanese idea of cross. Usually, if there's something mixed with something else, there's an X in the middle. So this would literally be cross culture. So it's the intersection between the cross and the culture.
Okay. So when you say the cross, what cross are you referring to?
That's the Christian cross. Talking about Christianity. I try not to do anything too like down your throat theological. Trying to make it a little more practical. Not just talk about it, but to be about it. And how do we navigate through things, having Christ as our compass, that type of thing.
Okay. The importance of having Christ as your compass, and in a practical way. All right. Yeah. To get from point A to B being the grave.
I mean,
yeah,
you got to die to self at least, right?
Okay. That may not even be the final destination, depending on how you look at it. But, it's important to have guiding voices from, beneficial guiding voices. People who may have taken a few steps ahead of you in the direction that you're going, That's what I do. That's what he's done. As you live life, you experience new things. And we like to share our experiences, things that we've read about, things that we've experienced, things that we've looked at through the lens of young Christian black men. Right? If that's a label that you might like to run with, I have no problem with that label. That works for me.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's what I am. I mean, I have to own it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even, But that being said, my channel, TPC Japan, has a few different projects going on right now. One being my main focus would be on kanji, learning Japanese culture and introducing Japanese culture to the rest of the world. As I learn, as I study, I'd like to share that journey with you to help other people do the same. The other half of my journey is more of the physical side, working out, exercise, staying in shape, little bits of knowledge, bro science, whatever you call it, and what has worked for me and what could work for you, it's just advice. Most of my understanding of how the body works is from advice that I've received from other people. I mean, I've read a bit, but some of it is just trying out what I've heard and seeing if it works for me. So, lately I've been very active on different types of social media, putting out short videos or longer videos or a series of videos. And I appreciate just the feedback, the conversation, not just in the comments, but, people like to contact me directly, get in the DMs and say, hey, I think your form was this and that or the other. Could be good, could be bad, but, there's no such thing as failure. Okay. There's no such thing as failure. There's always leaving results If they're the results that you like, keep it up. And if they're the results you don't like, well, now you know where to improve. Okay, so
I mean,
yeah.
I gotta speak to that just for 1 second, because
Yeah.
I really do enjoy your the short form videos on Instagram. I really do enjoy those. They have like a little bit of music, you're going through the kanji, you're going through the meanings, and it like sticks with you. So it's not just like, oh, this is just boom, this is the character and this is what it means. It's like, no, you're drawing it out and there's music behind it, and there's like maybe there's a if we're talking about falling leaves, you got falling leaves in the background, to really tie it together. So I definitely enjoy those. I can't do any kanji because my form is trash, but I do enjoy learning it, seeing the breakdown of the characters. Definitely.
Oh, well, I'll tell you right now, there's a lot on the way in terms of kanji content. And just before jumping into that, I wanted to introduce today's topics. These include coming up with a name for the show. If folks decide to chime in and give us their 2 cents about that, that's great. But yeah, we're gonna talk about a couple different names. He gave me the task. Ace gave me the task of coming up with a name. I said, okay, well, let's make 3. You make 3, I make 3, and then we'll do a poll. Or just decide. So yeah,
some way, somehow, right?
Yeah, some way, somehow we'll come up with a name by the end of the day. So this won't just be the podcast with a name, but it'll be the podcast with a direction.
With a name, like
maybe it'll be the name. All right. Podcast with the name.
Yeah.
That might be not one of my 3, but that might be my 4th one. So we're going to come up with a name for the podcast. We're going to take a look at the book today, more focusing on chapter 3, and then a bit of freestyle. Okay, we have until 1:00 at least. So without further ado, let's talk about the name.
Oh man, we're talking about the name already, huh?
Yeah, that's first up. What's the name of the show? What's the name of the show? So I was thinking something along the lines of the grind, but there's so many different podcasts with that similar, name. It'll be impossible for you guys to find us, So yeah, I had to step away from the grind or the daily grind. And yeah, I mean, a podcast with a name doesn't exist yet.
Okay.
Podcast with a name.
Okay. Oh, so that's your first one. So you just
that is my first one. That's why I put it right there in the thing. Just doing it.
So I mean, how about we go back and forth? All right. So you just did your first one.
I did just drop the first one. You said you had 4, so I'm like,
yeah, I got 4. I
probably should let you go first.
So my first one, I was thinking, well, we happen to be Black. If anybody's listening out there, and the hint hadn't dropped yet, we're Black, and we're talking about books. So I kind of saw it as like, all right, the Black Book Society, because usually Black male and Black books are seen as bad, but we're trying to bring edification and enrichment to the media platforms that we're on. So it's like Black Book Society, kind of play on words, play on the bad and good, that type of thing.
The Black Book Society. Now, does Black Book have a meaning to you?
Black Book? I mean, the Bible is usually a Black book.
Oh, okay. That's a valid point. But when I was growing up, there, when someone mentioned, "Oh, I'm going to take out my Black book," that was right. What? Go ahead.
That's the address book.
Yeah, the address
all your numbers.
Right, well, you write your numbers. Let me take out a little Black book right here, right? And
okay.
I mean, so like if we out there trying to, collect some scallywags or something like that, then,
oh no.
then I would be like, okay, the Black Book Society, like that's dope. I
Oh
like the name.
yeah.
I like the name, but what
But
is it telling the
the
audience?
connotation, yeah. I feel you. Okay, all right. Oh, I got three more. So
Okay. Yeah. So what? I'm on my next one now, right?
I mean, if you want me to do two back to back, so you don't got to feel so bad about ending off.
That's
I'll do
fair.
that.
That's fair.
All right.
Okay. No. In fact, no. How about this?
What's up?
The Walk and Talk
The Walk and
podcast.
Talk.
The Walk and
The
Talk
Walk
podcast.
and Talk podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now the
Okay.
reason
The Walk
behind
and
that,
Talk.
the reason behind that is because we talking about the walk, right? Before we talking about the struggle, we're talking about the walk. All right. How we got to where we are. All right. It's a journey. So there's the walk, right? But then obviously we talking, right? So bam, it's a podcast. The Walk and Talk. You listen, you walk, and you listen to what we're talking about, right? Like, and it reminds me like a walkie-talkie too. Like, can you hear me?
Walkie.
Right?
Oh gosh.
Right.
You taking it way back.
Walkie-talkie. The Walk and Talk podcast. Do you have to walk the walk and talk the talk, right? I mean, no, talk the talk and walk the walk. So it could be the Talk and Walk podcast too. Either one.
Talk and walk.
Yeah.
Okay. It both has to do with like theoretical knowledge and then the application thereof. So I get you.
Well, which one sounds better? Talk and walk or walk and talk? I said walk and talk first, but talk and walk.
Yeah, you did. Talk and walk. I feel like talk and walk doesn't come off the tongue as well as walk and talk.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Walk and talk that's it. Walk and talk.
Walk and talk.
Walk
and talk. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna just start
blow it up right now.
Yeah, no. Walk and talk. It's like that better not exist already. That's my only thing. I didn't vet that one.
I mean, I haven't vetted any of them, so I didn't want to be disappointed.
That's what I started with. I just started asking, like, okay, does this exist? Already does.
Yeah. That's. You think that you have like a really great original idea, and then like 5 other people have had it before you.
That's the thing. Isn't that life though? Isn't that life?
Yes.
Everyone has great ideas. Everyone does have a stroke of genius. It's what you do with it, and there may be some people that did something with that name once upon a time. They might not even be doing it now.
Yeah, it might have dropped. Yeah.
They might have dropped it. Let it go. They didn't have more than 2,000 subscribers after, 52 weeks. So they said, you know what, we're going to let the walk and talk walk. All right.
I'm going to jump in with my next one now.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop trying to blow up the walk and talk. Cause that's, that's.
So this one is a little bit Japanese inspired, just a little bit, but not very much at all. So, for those of you who don't know, TPC or Tipsy Japan is in Japan. He lives in Japan. He's lived there for 10 years now.
11, 12 total.
Oh gosh. All right.
Yeah, 1/3 of my life
in the States. So right now, this podcast is actually taking place for me in the present and future, and for TPC Japan in the past and present. So I thought of Across Time and Space podcast. So it's bringing more than just, 2 people of like mind who are like in the same exact culture or society, but it's going across, it's bridging things. And the Japanese inspiration is the ATAS. It's a 4-letter acronym. So it's from what you were telling me, the Japanese, when they shorten something, it's 4 characters. Like that's the kind of the rule. So Atas podcast.
Atas. Sounds like shatas.
Shatas.
Yeah. Across Time and Space podcast. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Whoa.
Across time and space. Yeah.
Because we definitely are going across time and space with this podcast. Oh
Yes.
man.
Every time we log on.
Yeah. That's crazy. Whoa, hold on. Let me.
It's crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, okay, when people look it up, I want it to be ATAS,
ATAS,
hyphen, ATAS, and then hyphen across time and space. I feel like we have to have Neil deGrasse Tyson on.
Oh,
he has to. You got to weigh in, man.
You got to bless it.
Yeah. The Cosmology Podcast.
No. Oh gosh.
Astrophysicist Podcast. Now, no. I mean, that's a tough name. That's a tough name. That's a strong contender.
Okay.
Atas.
So what's your next one?
No, see, before it was just The Walk. It was just The Walk. The Walk Podcast. But I like that was supplanted by The Walk and Talk. Wow. The last one. The final podcast name of the day.
Of the day? I have two more.
I know. You're just cranking them out, man. You're cranking them out. He's the Black Box Society.
Black Box?
No. Black Book.
Oh,
the Black Book
Black
Society.
Book. I was like a Black Box. Okay. Endless recording through time. I don't know.
Oh. No, yeah. All right. Black Book Society.
Yeah.
Walk and Talk. The podcast with a name.
Podcast with a name.
Yeah, podcast with a name. Like Namae Aru. Right? The thing is, in Japanese, famous, the word famous is yume. And yume means having a name. Yume. Not yume. Yume is a dream. But yume.
Say that.
Yume. Right. Possessing a name. You've made a name for yourself. That meaning of a name.
Wow. That's funny how close they sound.
Yeah. Up to that point, you're probably like, that sounds stupid. Like everything has a name, right? No. The thing is, people didn't have names in Japan in the past. They were just like Tanaka, the guy in the rice field.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
And that's a name now. Like
that's a name.
That's a literal name now.
That's a last name, and it's one of the most popular. Or I don't know. Honda. Yeah, from the rice paddy. The guy is from the rice paddy. I don't know. It's just these are simple.
Murasaki. There's a few of them. Like,
purple. Yeah. So in order to have a name, you have to have been like a kizoku or samurai or someone's vassal. And it kind of reminds you of Tensura, to tell you the truth. Tensura. You put me on the show. Go ahead.
Tensura?
Anime. Yeah.
Which one? Whoa, hold on. What show is this?
Tensei de umare kawatta slime no monogatari or something like that.
What?
The time I woke up as slime or something.
I
was reincarnated.
The time that I was reincarnated as a slime. I was like,
yes.
You're saying it in Japanese, man.
It's just Tensura. That's it. Tensura.
Oh, yeah.
Tensura.
Okay, but that makes a little more sense because the whole one of the big premises in the first season of that anime is literally giving names to those who are under you.
There you go.
If you haven't watched it, definitely give it a watch. It's very popular. It has a second season out now. The time I was reincarnated as a slime, it's pretty dope. But in the whole naming thing, yeah, you know, names play a very big part of that anime.
In the first
It's kind of
season.
coming full circle.
In the first season.
In the first season, yeah. The second season, not so much, because it lays the groundwork for the second season.
Right.
But
right.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I was like the podcast with a name, because it has made a name for itself. You know.
Like auto, as in making a name for yourself, not like becoming famous, but the name was formed from the podcast.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, you man. So yeah, I'm not trying to be deep. All right.
It doesn't matter if you were trying; it happened.
Okay. The other name above all.
I mean, did you are you trying to do two at once? Like, what's going on?
Oh, what? This is a podcast with a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, podcast with a name, and
you've already done two.
Walk and Talk,
right?
Yeah. What's your next?
All right.
What's your next?
Books and opinions. Just kind of flat out there, straight to the point. Books and opinions. So that nobody tries to slay us when they're like, "Oh, I've been fact checking you." It's like, this is my opinion. I'm entitled. Yeah. Books and opinions.
Books and opinions. Books and opinions. First off, before I even let it sit, I'm going to fact check it right now. We're going to make sure it doesn't exist.
That it's not taken.
Yeah, that's the thing. Books and opinions. Okay, we're looking up on Google Books. Opinions on books exist. Bookish opinions exist.
Bookish opinions. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't see opinions. Books and opinions.
Books and opinions.
No, doesn't exist yet.
You're looking up on Google Books, though?
Yeah. No. Google Podcast.
Oh. Why don't you just do a straight Google search?
Because this is looking for podcasts. Walk the Talk podcast. Get out of here.
Walk the Talk.
Yeah, but no walk and talk. Talking and walking podcast. Walk, talk, listen podcast. Ooh.
Walk, talk, listen.
Yeah, 3 steps. Walk, talk, and listen. Walk, talk, listen podcast exists. Talking, walking exists. And walk the talk exists, but not walk and talk.
Walk and talk.
Yeah, walk and talk podcast.
Okay, nope. If we're gonna have to do that, I can't.
The Honky Talk podcast. Yeah, no, we gotta get somebody in there for the intro song or something.
Oh gosh. It reminded me of like 2 different animes at once, and of course the last one to stick in my mind is Cowboy Bebop. Simply because they're coming out with the live action movie. It's like,
whoa, when? Who? When?
Yeah. I've seen just one image, and it was supposed to be like the 3 main characters walking down an alley or something like that. But I didn't look too much into it because it's just promotional. It hasn't come to light yet,
that would be beautiful if it does, if and when it does. But my guy's already gone. New Javis. Put so much of their music together.
I mean, they're probably just going to remaster and use it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Which is nothing new, though, The final word.
The final
already exists, so we can't use that. But I thought that was a pretty dope name. Actually, the final word podcast doesn't. The final word crickets does.
Crickets?
Yeah, the final word crickets is a podcast. And the final word radio is a podcast, but the final word podcast does not exist. And
that's
the final
still
word,
not terrible.
I mean, because I wanted to include the word, this kind of Christian perspective on things. And it's a talking podcast, obviously, talk show.
Yeah.
The final word, TFW. It does have this kind of aggressiveness to it.
The final word. Like it might be like, oh, well, I said it. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's done. Drop the mic.
Don't drop the mic. Don't ever drop the mic, please.
Don't drop it.
As an AV worker, please never drop the mic. Please don't do it.
Have you ever done it?
We don't like it. Drop the mic?
Yes.
While working AV, yes, I have.
Okay.
But as an AV worker, I don't want anybody dropping mics. I don't want anybody either.
Testing 1 2.
Tang, tang, tang. It's like going up to somebody, hey, can you hear me? And hitting them on the head. Like it's
on the head.
Not helping anything.
Not on the eardrum. Just
no. Just no. It's not helping anything.
Okay. All right. So we came up with a couple of good names. I think.
Hold on. I got one more.
What?
I got one more. The book experience.
The book experience.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I mean, that'd be us. Because we're also talking about our experience, living, but we're also talking about looking at the book through that lens, through our experience. So, like two double meaning, the book experience.
Okay. All right. The book experience. Yeah, I feel there's a strong undercurrent of the book. This is about the book. This is a literature review. This is mine, it's talking about like talking and walking, or the word itself. Yeah. The podcast with a name, the Bookcast.
The Bookcast.
The Bookcast.
The Bookcast. The Bookcast with the word.
Bookcast. Bookcast. All right, you asked for 4. The Bookcast. That means we're not reading the books, to the audience, but we're casting that knowledge out from the book. The Bookcast.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't take that much explanation, Does the Bookcast exist?
Does it?
Cast. Wow, it does. Holy moly. Wow. The Bookcast, the Bookcasters, the Lounge Bookcast, and the Brothers F Bookcast. Also, Uvala Audio Bookcast. Stories for the kids.
Uvala.
The Nerdy Bookcast, the Bookcasting Podcast. Superior Men Bookcast.
Wow. That's not pretentious.
It's not. You can't even just let me have the Bookcast Club. That's a popular one.
Okay.
Fortnightly Casual Bookcast. Contact us on thebookcast@outlook.com.
Fortnightly. So that's like a fortnight is
every
what,
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. So are we gonna land on a name? That's the first order of business.
That's the first order of business?
Yeah. Or we can step away from that and land on the name the next time with these names in mind. Or at the end of the podcast, we can say 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna cast my vote on this.
No, please, no. Maybe
like 3. You get three votes. You have a 3-point vote, a 2-point vote, and a 1-point vote, and a 0-point vote, and then whichever one has the highest score total will be the one. So if you say, for example, if the bookcast, man, the bookcast has every other podcast out there with the same name. But if the bookcast podcast,
The bookcast podcast.
if the bookcast podcast has 6 points, then it would come in first place. You know, because you have to vote 3 times, right?
I see. So you have a 3 count vote, a 2 count vote, and a 1 count vote.
Right.
So basically, your first place gets 3, your second place gets 2, and your third place gets 1. That type of thing.
But it's a composite of both. It's a composite of 2 people's scores. So unless we both pick the same one in first place, there won't be a 6 score. There's a possibility of there being 2. 2 5s.
2 5s.
Right.
A 4.
Possibility 2 5s. A couple 4s. You know, there's only one chance that one would get, 6.
6. Yeah.
And if it does, then we're done. If there are 2 5s, then we just play rock paper scissors. 1 2 3.
Oh, John Kempo.
Yeah, Japanese. No hard feelings. But is there a name that's intrinsically better and just like, well, you know what, that
like really there?
Spot on. Hold on. Let's see what's going on with this Black Book Society.
I don't know. It might already exist. It's very possible.
Black Girl Book Club. The Little Black Book. My Black Book Journal. Darwin's Black Book. The Book Club Review. The Black Book Podcast.
That's close to one.
It's made by Black people. All right, the Black Book Podcast will be focusing on education, business, and working experiences of Black people around the globe. The Black Book was inspired by both personal discovery and research of the Negro Motorist Green Book. Each episode highlights creatives, innovators, and successful business people engaging in a range of lifestyles or those who even own their own business. The last podcast they did was on Juneteenth, BBP exclusive, Black Book Podcast exclusive, a celebration of Juneteenth in Shanghai. Well, isn't that cool?
Wow, Shanghai.
Wow,
Yeah, that's wow. Did you already look up?
Yeah.
Atas.
Atas. Let's bring that back. Atas is across. What do you think? You think it exists?
I think it might, but I think it might exist in a connotation of like astronomy.
Across time and space.
I could see that being a thing.
There's a podcast called Girls Speak, and they did an episode called Across Time and Space. But a podcast named Across Time and Space does not exist.
Wow.
At all. That is a good option.
I mean, in that way, it doesn't really tie us to books. If we wanted to branch out a little bit, we don't have to change the name of the podcast.
Right. Across time and space. Wait.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Across time and space. It's not the name of the podcast, right? I mean, I see the thing from Girls Speak on Anchor, but that's just the name of that episode. It's not the name of the show.
Yeah.
Across time and space. Let's take it.
Let's take it. Oh, okay.
For the win. Let's just take it.
No more to talk of the voting, huh?
No. I mean, sorry, I'm such a fascist. Let's just go with it. No. I mean, we can vote. We can vote. We can vote.
I mean, that's probably gonna get my vote. I mean,
Is it going to get you 3 stars?
I don't know because I like the concept of the podcast with the name, or more so the Japanese side of it. You know, the podcast that birthed the name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I feel like it would be lost. It would be a little too hard to explain every time.
What is the podcast with a name? The podcast with a name. Blah 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 blah. In the Japanese culture, in a world with no names, there's one podcast that reigns supreme.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Podcast with a name. It's a little long though. It's a good name.
Podcast with a name.
Yeah. Podcast with a name.
That's 5.
5 words.
Like words.
Yeah.
How many syllables? The podcast.
The
name.
podcast with a name. The podcast with a name.
I mean, in English, it's only 6. Sounds like in Japanese, it's like 8.
めちゃくちゃ長いね。Podcast with a name. All right. As opposed to atas. Atas kita? 面白いね. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like atas, it's like it rolls off the tongue. It's kind of it's thought provoking enough. So if you hear atas, oh, I'm just listening to atas. Atas, what the heck is atas? Oh, let me get into it.
But what?
Like that.
Yeah. Okay. So across time and space, when you hear atas, what does that mean? What are we about to listen to?
It doesn't convey that.
Yeah, it's just something across time and space.
Yeah.
It's not content based, but it's It's like theme based or something, or media based. This is media. It's coming to you live across time and space. I mean, I guess every podcast does that, but there are no others with this name.
With that name.
You know, and have you seen... Okay, well, have you seen that movie? The best sci-fi space movie.
The best sci-fi space movie? Okay. You're about to ruffle a few feathers, man.
There's only one.
Tread carefully.
There's only one. No, the best one. The best one.
The best one. Yeah, what's the best one?
No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you say it.
No. Don't ask me, because I've watched a few.
The one that makes you say, wow, like this really is incredible. But it has a message that you can walk away with and you can really think about every day for the rest of your life. Yeah, see, that one.
I don't know if we're on the same.
You must be.
I don't know if we're on the same wavelength. No, because I feel like you want me to say Star Wars.
No, why would I do that?
You want me to. Oh,
okay. You think about Star Wars every day for the rest of your life? What's wrong with you?
Not really.
No, bro. Dun, 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 dun. Every day I'm walking around like a Star Trooper. Come on, come now. That's so many better movies.
I was thinking The Matrix, but that's more sci-fi.
That's not like no.
Yeah, no.
That's just science fiction. You could think about it every day, but there's one that goes deeper than that, and it goes into space. Space is an important element there, and time.
Tell me. You're gonna have to tell me.
One more time.
Oh, Interstellar 5555.
Is not the name of the movie. It's called Interstellar.
Oh, really? I thought it was Interstellar 5555.
That's the name of the one more time. Yeah, that animated thing. That's not the best one. Yeah, I'm talking about Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Oh, yes. Okay. You've seen it.
I don't think I have, actually.
I just got no spoilers, and that sucks for the audience because wow. Wow.
I don't think that I have, honestly. I do not remember. I can't not explicitly remember watching it and remembering it. So I will have to say no.
Okay,
Oh, so you're going you just
look.
gonna put me out there
He
by
can't
myself?
hear me. He can't hear me. Can I mute his speakers or something so we can talk?
No.
It's you and me. You and me. All right. Because that movie right there, go ahead and mute yourself or something. I don't know. Look, audience, hit me up in the comments section. Tell me Interstellar is not the best sci-fi movie. I don't even want to ruin it for him because he doesn't deserve that. You should really experience that for yourself, son.
For myself.
And yeah. You know, like it'll be so easy for me to like hype it up and then you get into it and it's like, oh, it's not all that. No, it takes a little time to get into it. You know, I'll say that right there. If you don't have patience or if you're like anti-sci-fi or something, or if you just don't have a heart, then it'll take time to grow a heart in your hollow chest cavity. All right.
Oh, calm down. You're trying to call me the Grinch now?
once that thing start pumping, man. Yeah. It'll grow like 100-fold, right?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So but across time and space, like that podcast name refers to something in that movie that I've thought about consistently, maybe every week at least. You know, and we should talk about that movie. It's that serious.
Okay. So what I hear is that you don't want to tie it to just books because if we start talking about movies, then that's outside of the realm of books.
Oh, so no. I've always been about freestyle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to lock down. For me, the way that my brain works, I tend to float from idea to idea, and just whatever comes. Right. So to lock it down, sometimes I need that structure, but I feel like in a podcast, we're playing off each other, we're riffing back and forth. You kind of don't want it to be so rigid, but at the same time, you don't want it to be encompassing the whole universe because there's too much to cover.
Or maybe you do. Maybe you do, and maybe you do want to just have something that's transcendental that cuts across the ages, and Atas does that. My an upcoming podcast, the Waveform podcast. Not letting that computer slip. Nope. No. But then I got to bring this in closer, huh? Yeah, the Waveform podcast by MKBHD. That guy. Yeah, I mean the waveform, like what? All sounds are waves, right? So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a cool name, but it doesn't tell you what the podcast is going to be about specifically in any way, shape, or form, and that's cool. I told the audience that today's podcast was going to be about naming this thing, freestyling, and talking about the next chapter of this book. Even if we talk about one page, let's give it a page. I like Atas. Let's go with Atas.
Yeah.
For now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once we get the audio out there, audio only out there, then we're gonna have to have a name. But for right now, we can play around with it. We can play test.
Yeah. Let's run with it. Unless people just lose their whole mind and just send us all kinds of, inflammatory messages. Ignorance about Atas. Do you know what Atas means in my language?
Oh God.
No, I don't. Go ahead, educate me, please. So, just a quick comment on the circumstances behind fatherhood.
Oh gosh. Do we have all night?
No, we have a few minutes. But the circumstances, the circumstances that through which maybe you you've seen other people become fathers, the way that you were fathered, the way that you father others, just however you want to take that, on the circumstances behind fatherhood.
Circumstances behind fatherhood.
Right. Because, all right. So the reason I'm bringing this up specifically, let's give some context to this. In the third chapter, the author, Ta-Nehisi Coates of A Beautiful Struggle, was talking about, he was talking about how he came into the world and about how his mother kind of adored his father. There was kind of respect for him, although, he already had like 5 kids. That doesn't, stop someone from being a good father. In fact, he was there for his kids. They, all these, Big Bill and all his like older and half sisters and whatnot, they were all, hanging off this guy's neck. This man had kids by 3 different sisters. 3 sisters. They were all related. So, auntie is also like stepmother kind of thing. And it's interesting that, the how she viewed him and his, manhood. At the same time, like once he became a dad and once she, spent time with him, he went from this kind of member of the Black Panther movement, a veteran in there, to someone who justified food stamps. And, like how, that whole respect, love, power relationship, how that morphs over time. But, yeah, it felt like an interesting point to me. Just being, newlywed husband, father figure, what I bring to the table, the way that I'm portrayed in the other person's eyes, like how does that put me in prime position to become a father? Maybe it does. Let's talk.
All right. So one of the things that I found very interesting about the third chapter was the fact that Ta-Nehisi's father, his father and his mother were driving in her orange Volkswagen Beetle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he's the one driving at the time. He pulls over to the side of the road, and I think Ta-Nehisi is saying that his mother was very like upfront about wanting a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and his father literally says,
Mm-hmm.
"I can't have any more kids right now. Like I don't want
Right.
any more kids. Like I already have 5, and
Mm-hmm.
that's enough."
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for any man to come to that realization, for any person actually to come to that realization, it takes a lot of introspect to be able to say, you know what, I don't have the means. I don't want to bring more children into this world without being able to provide for them, giving them the best shot at success in the future. Not to say that those who don't look at that first, oh my goodness, they're bad, but it's refreshing, especially when the Black culture is seen as one where we multiply like rabbits and the men don't stay around. It was very refreshing to hear that. Um, the way that it kind of comes down on me, as a father. Um, my daughter was an unexpected blessing. I'll say that. She was a very unexpected blessing. And it was hard getting through those first months, because a lot of fathers don't really have that tight bond with their children until the child can start interacting. When my wife and I, when she first had the baby, we had swapped roles. Once she was able to go to work,
Yeah.
she went to work, and I was a stay-at-home dad.
Mm.
And I changed diapers, I had poop explosions, I had my share of accidents. It happened.
Mm.
But I will say that once she started to be able to smile at me and interact with me, my relationship with God became so much clearer.
Mm.
Because I was just doing so much for this person who could not do for themselves, who did not know right from wrong.
Mm.
And I then saw my relationship with my daughter as a relationship between me and God, where it's like I'm thick-headed. All right. I've prayed to God, hey Lord, if
Mm.
this is what you want from me, hit me in the head with a sack of bricks, because I know that I'm not going to get any other way.
Mm.
But I feel like it's those moments where we come to, that are just like those moments where my daughter would smile at me. I tickle her and she's smiling, or she's giggling, or she just looks at me and she smiles. Those moments bring so much joy to me, brought so much joy to me, bring so much joy to me now. It's like
Mm.
how much more our Father in heaven, when he says something like, hey, I want you to go this way because the other way is treacherous.
Mm.
And we listen. It's just like, yes, that's it. They get it. Boom.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mm. 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 Yeah. Um, I'm not at liberty to say where I am on that journey just yet. But in matrimony, I think that's the beginning of when you start to learn what love is and why, what God has for us, what he's been giving to us all this time, this sacrificial love where, um, you just want the person to be okay. You want them to be
Mm,
happy, and what's going to lead to, you know, sadness or death, and you just want them to choose the right thing, but you just can't get them to, um, it's, that's painful. That's painful.
oh
That
yeah.
is so painful. Love is painful. And, to think that God experiences that with each and every one of us on an individual level every single day while we're awake and sleep. Um, I mean, I try to zone it out sometimes. And I think men do sometimes, just, don't think about it type thing,
Yeah.
just go into our own world or something, go into that man cave and not really focus on how, you know, sometimes, I mean, we're, through our actions, we try to provide, but it's not that we can do that 24 hours a day, like we need to recharge and
Oh
get,
yeah.
get right with God, get that again. I think we talked about this flow before where, there's this top down relationship where, you know, God loves us and, we, in return, we, respect God and, we look to love God, I mean, you're supposed to love the Lord, with all your mind, with all your soul and all that good stuff.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
But, I also respect the Lord your God, follow what he says, follow his commandments. If you do, as he said, and love as he said to love, as he commanded us to love, then things will be okay.
Yeah.
Like there's a obedience relationship there, and if we obey what he does, then that will lead to happiness. That will lead to joy. That'll lead to everlasting life and all those good
Oh
things,
yeah.
right? Um, and then now in turn, relationship between a man and his wife, you know, are we? It's like, okay, when we love down, as some say, love down, respect up, but love down, look up to someone, right? But respect or love down on someone, it's a downward motion. Everything
Mm,
you have, all of your weight goes into that, this vassal of your love, right? And, you know I think the a very not female, but yeah, well, a very feminine person would be receptive of that love. I think that's the feminine nature, according to David Dede in his masterpiece book. We'll introduce that. We'll talk about that in the future. I mentioned it before, but that is the feminine nature, is this receiving, this all encompassing nature, that can receive all of that love from us, right? And like the same way that we should receive all the blessings that God has in store for us, and respect and obey Him back, the same way that we should funnel and tunnel all of our love into our wives. That's what men should do. All right. And they should be receptive of that. And they're not built in the same way as men, of course. Like, we are built in such a way to endure physical, like, labor and those types of things outside the hard lifting heavy things. Women deal with their heavy lifting of their own type, and in a way that men cannot. Like, we can't bring children into this world. There ain't no way. Ain't no way. All right. That is specifically a feminine thing, but like, we God, we don't love God in the sense that like a little mouse or a chick, or a little frail flower or something like that, where we're not going to hurt God. All right. And so we can be hurt. All right. We are frail when it comes to if God decides to smite, that's it. And He wouldn't, because He loves us. But he loves us. You don't smite someone that you love. You chastise, you correct, but you don't smite. Just wipe them out. And in that same way, men are to love our women, and our woman that one, and pour all that love into them, but we're looking at them as that in need of love, in need of protection, in need of that shield, in need of us to go out there and do what needs to get done. All right. God doesn't need us to do that, to be God. He's God regardless, but we need Him to be God, and for Him to find a way where there's no way. Right. Like, that's what it is. And in that same way, now, women, okay, so we don't need that godly love from them. We need that respect from them. All right. That type of respect, look, I know you may not understand why I'm doing this, but I need you to understand that, I'm doing this because I love you. And, I just need you to maintain right now. Just hold on right there. All right. That same type of love. Now they're going to pass that down into your child, into your seed, and pour that that unconditional into them, because the baby needs it. Like, that's the flow, that's the direction that things are I think supposed to go in a biblical sense. Love down.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely biblical. Take a look at Ephesians, and it says that a man is supposed to love his wife as Christ loved the church.
Love the church.
So I mean, that's not a, oh, I love you. It's not a LUV love. Sometimes you try to get away with it. Yeah.
Hollywood.
Type it LUV. Ha ha ha. LOL. No, it's I'm gonna die for you. If that's what it takes, I'm going to die for you. Type of love. That agape. That's it. Period.
You're not expecting your woman to do that. You are not expecting your woman to die for you. No way. No, that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works.
But it says, women, submit to your husbands. And that's not like a forceful submission. It's not like, hey, no, I got my wife in a headlock and like, go cook me dinner. It's nothing like that.
Chicken
It's chicken wing. To put a full Nelson like that.
Full Nelson. No. I'm gonna need that chicken. I'm gonna need that chicken.
No, it's more of a thing of respect, you know, and just in our daily lives, you know, as men, we're not going around saying, hey, you know, I love you, man. We probably should a little bit more because brotherly love is a thing. And I do have men that I say I love you to, you know, and they need to hear it. I need to hear it from them, especially like my father, you know, other men in my life. But we're more so about respect. Like if I walk into a room and I'm dapping up everybody but you, you see it as disrespect. It's not a thing. Oh, he doesn't love me. No, it's like, yo, how you gonna do me like that? Like, you don't know me? Like, we not cool now? Like, what's going on? That's where it comes from. So it's like you said, it's more of a it's almost like a love language thing. Almost like how we're ready to receive. Like, men can receive respect and give respect very easily. Women can give love and receive love very easily. But now the problem comes, you have a man, you have a woman. It's a little conflicting because you may want to give her respect, but she's not looking for respect. She's looking for love. And she may want to give you love, but you're looking for respect. So there has to be a lot of communication because there's no such thing as too much good, effective communication. But if nobody's saying anything, then nothing's going to get resolved. And you say, hey, I like it when you do this. I don't like it when you do that. I feel disrespected when you do this. I feel not loved when you do that. Then things are going to start to, you know, whittle away. Okay, well, you know, then what can I do? You know, she had a bad day, you know, maybe I can run her bath or, you know, get a foot bath for her and, you know, massage her feet. You know, when you come home,
looking to be taken care of.
Home, when you come home, maybe she's just like, hey, how was your day? You know, do you need to unload? Like, what are you in the mood for? It's going to be a play on. And just like you said, it's that cycle going up, coming down. And then once you got that, then you can give that to the child, and the child is going to respect you for it.
Right.
And that cycle continues because our relationships are supposed to emulate that of Christ and God's relationship for mankind.
Yes. That's exactly what we're talking about here. You know, recreating that cycle, the same type of relationship you have with God. All right, create that back with the wife. Wife is creating that with the children. Children are recuperating that and using that same type of love to then go out into the world. Like, once they've been loved by their parents with that type of love, this, you know, sacrificial love, this instructive love, corrective love, you know, taken care of, then they know if it's a daughter, then she's going to know what, you know, a man, they know how to discern whether or not a man has her best interest in mind, you know, or if he's just like one of these, you know, animals. Is this guy an animal? All right.
One of those guys.
Yeah, one of those guys, you know. And if it's a young man, he's gonna know how to build himself up so that he can love, right? Young men, you got to build your frame. You know, stop chasing around these little scallywags out here that you know, don't know what love is. They're just looking for, you know, something, anything. You know, it's more important to have integrity and to build that integrity. And the way to do that is through building your character. The way to build your character is to be, do, and learn everything that you need to learn today in order to, you know, be, do, and have everything that's in store for you tomorrow. Right.
So be somebody today that your future self will be proud of.
Yeah, there we go.
It's hard. It's hard because like when nobody's looking, you know, that's when your integrity is tested. And say that you are who you truly are behind closed doors. You know, you are who you truly are behind closed doors when nobody else is looking. when
you think anybody else looking.
no eyes are on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you gravitate towards? And that's who you are.
Right. So my question is, what name are we gonna gravitate towards to, man?
Oh
You know,
no,
we've reached the 105 mark.
Oh
And
man, hour and 5 minutes. This is the longest podcast yet. I will say that.
that's because it's evolving into a podcast with a name.
Podcast with a name, yes.
What?
I don't know, man.
I mean, we could say, you know, the Across Time and Space podcast, Walking and Talking as a podcast with a name. You know, I don't know. It could be part of the introduction. Something.
It's like this long.
Everybody in the Black Box Society, come ahead and join.
Oh god.
You know. Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's too long. It's too long. Maybe we need to find a way to poll.
Okay.
Let's pick 3 names right now. That if we can do that much, I feel like we have accomplished a lot. We pick 3 names, and then we see about, you know, throwing it out there on Twitter and you know,
whatever
getting some type of consensus, or we can put the invite to come vote on the YouTube channels. We'll tally the votes, or if we can vote on Twitter,
Instagram,
and Facebook.
You can vote on Instagram. That's a new thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then maybe we need to put it in both our circles.
Yeah.
Because both are.
Yeah. Put it on Insta.
Gonna...
We put it on Insta, and then Insta has, you know, connects back to Facebook or whatever, or above and beyond. Yeah. Okay. So we got 3 names: Atas, Shatas, and Blackas.
Chill out. So on a serious note, Atas, which is Across Time and Space.
Across Time and Space.
The podcast with a name.
That's definitely on the top 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So now what's the third?
I thought you were gonna say Walking and Talking. Walk and Talk. Walk and Talk.
Walk and Talk podcast. Okay.
The Walk and Talk podcast.
The Walk and Talk podcast. All right. So are those the 3?
To wow and amaze. Yeah. The Walk and Talk. Oh wait, no. To what? To what?
To what?
Yeah, to what?
This guy.
I said the walk and walk.
Amaze. Wait, that's a T.
Oh, that's what happens. You get over a whole hour. I don't even need Rolling Rock, man. I don't need Rolling Rock. Hey,
we're getting a little silly right now.
Hey, right, TPC Japan. Y'all know what it is.
A little tipsy.
Yeah. TPC. The People's Champ.
Walk and Talk.
Walk and Talk.
Across Time and Space.
Right? Across Time and Space.
Podcast with a name.
And the podcast with a name. Podcast with a name, or the podcast with a name? Podcast with a name.
Podcast with a name?
I mean, that's what I wrote the name of today's podcast. It says podcast with a name. The podcast with a name?
Are the one and only, so we would be the podcast with the name.
Not an action. Podcast with a name. We're podcasting.
Ooh, I see.
With a name. Ah.
Okay. Let's drop to the
yeah.
Podcast with a name.
Podcast, the action, and the active voice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the 3.
Podcast with a name. Yeah. So we gotta find how to put those to votes on everything.
We just put it to vote on everything. Tell your friend, tell a neighbor, tell a mate, and tell an associate. It's the podcast with a name.
You want your choice to be heard, and you want to stack the deck, then by all means, tell your friends, hey, just go to this site and vote for this one. If you want to vote on all different types of social media, we're not going to stop you. Go ahead. Get your voice out there, and we'll be here ready and waiting for that result.
And we'll get back to you. Hey, next week, same time, same place. Different place. It'll be hosted
Different place.
on Cross Culture next week. Every 2 weeks, we alternate. All right.
So YouTube Cross X Culture, all one word. You'll see me there. I think it's a pink C. I'm still trying to change the thumbnail and revamp the channel a little bit, but I think that's what's there right now.
Okay. Or you can find us at TPC Japan on YouTube. Look us up. At us across time and space. Podcast with a name. Or what? Oh no.
Don't say that one. We might need to drop it now.
Oh no. Oh no. I just shortened it and then I said, what is that?
So maybe just walk and talk?
Walk and talk.
Walk and talk podcast.
All right, let's walk and talk. Walk with me.
We'll have to walk out this room.
Yeah. All right, I better walk out this room. I gotta get to work, man. Hey, no matter who signs your paycheck, you're self-employed. Never forget that.
Self-employed. What?
You are self-employed, no matter who signs your paycheck. Zig Ziglar. All right, that's where I got that from. You are self-employed. So go ahead and do that job. But do it like it's yours. Own it. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Because that's what it is. Peace.
Peace.